My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney, with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network. Brand new episodes every other week, every fortnight. This episode may be slightly shorter than usual. In fact, this episode will be slightly shorter than usual because there is building work going on underneath the studio and people keep drilling. So, as they say at Disney World, pardon our pixie dust. So, in fact, you should have a listen. See if you can spot the drilling through this episode, but we'll push on anyway. Don't forget, we're on the socials at PodMagical. If you've got any questions, any planning questions, you can drop me a message. That is what we've got here from Deb, who wants to know how long after the parks close do the rides actually stay open for? Well, as long as it takes to get through the queue, I think is the answer. If a park closes at 9, the queue will close at 9. So if you want to go on Rise of the Resistance, it's a 2-hour queue. If you get in that queue just before 9, just before park closes, you'll stay in the queue. It'll probably move very fast because particularly when they stop lightning lanes going through. So, as soon as park closes, you're not getting any more lightning lanes going through because people will have used their lightning lanes by then. So it will move faster. But if you are in that queue before the park closes, you will get on the attraction. Any questions? At PodMagical on all the socials. And if, like Sophie, you want to be a guest, give me a shout. On this episode of the podcast, it was her first ever trip to Disney World earlier this year. Let's find out how it was. Hello, Sophie.
Hiya.
So how was it, your first ever trip to the House of the Mouse in Florida?
Oh my gosh, it was everything I wanted it to be.
So why do you love Walt Disney World? What is it about that place that's so magical for you?
It's the one place you can just be yourself and everyone else is being themselves and everyone's just so happy to be there.
And have you been to other Disney parks, Disneyland Paris and places like that?
Yeah, Disneyland Paris a couple of times.
So were you ready for Orlando? Did you feel like, Disneyland Paris gave you the bug for it?
I was very ready. I'm one of those people that doesn't mind a spoiler, so I've watched so many vlogs.
And what were you most looking forward to? What was you like, this is the one thing I can't wait to do?
To be honest, all of it. I mean, we went knowing that Tron was about to open, but we thought we were going to miss it. So I was like, please let us get on, please let us get on. And we did manage to get on.
So you've done Tron. Not a lot of people on this podcast so far have done Tron because it's only been open a few months. So how many times did you manage to get on it?
3 times. All 3 in the morning, just because that's when our slots came up.
Now, was it did you pay for it or did you just go on the virtual queue?
So we did virtual queue and literally just do your 7 a.m. refresh. And it was, we were in groups 1 to 10 all 3 times.
Because a lot of people are saying, actually, unlike Guardians of the Galaxy, it's really easy to get Tron. And even like a few minutes later, slots are still available. Did you find it easier compared to Guardians?
Yeah, definitely. One of the times I tried to get Guardians, I couldn't get it until the afternoon because all the morning slots had gone.
Was it 3 out of 3?
3 out of 3.
Wow. So it really is an easy one to get. And I usually ask this later on in the podcast, but I've got to ask you what your favourite attraction is. Now you've been on Tron and Guardians and everything else.
For me, it's got to be Flight of Passage. Without a doubt. I absolutely loved Guardians and it's such a good ride, but the experience of Flight of Passage does it for me.
So what was it about that ride? Because obviously that's a few years old now, but it's always up there. It's always when you look at the queues, there's people still queuing for hours for it.
It feels probably the most magical, I guess, because you get the smells and the feeling, and it's the overall combination of it. Whereas obviously Guardians and Tron are both fast and they're true roller coasters, whereas Flight Passage is an experience.
Was there anything you didn't like? Any of the rides went, won't be bothered going on that again if we go back?
I don't know really. All of them have their merits. I mean, this is probably going to get me some abuse, but the Tiki Room I could definitely live without. But
that's a Walt classic.
I know, and I feel bad saying
room.
it, but it's an experience. And I will say, although I went on Tron 3 times, it was hyped up too much because it's such a short ride.
Yeah, I heard that. Like, what, a minute?
Yeah, it's over before you even know, and it's good, but if it was longer, it would be right at the top.
How long was the actual queue? So you got the virtual queue, but from being called to getting on Tron, how long was it?
So the first day we did it, which was the second ever day that you could go on it as an outsider, it was 5 minutes. The second time, it took us an hour.
Oh, right. So don't think you're walking straight on.
Yeah, it's so mixed.
Now, where did you stay on your trip?
We stayed on site and we stayed at Pop Century, which was so lovely. The Skyliner is just honestly the best form of transportation. Like, it doesn't get beaten. Even by the monorail, it's the best.
Any particular reason you picked Pop Century for your stay?
Mainly the Skyliner, to be fair, because I'd heard a lot about it and I knew that I was going to love Epcot and I wanted to be somewhere you could get easily to Epcot. So I thought Skyliner Resort, that's the one. And
was Epcot your favourite park?
Second favourite. Animal Kingdom just about tops it because it's so beautiful at night.
Yes, it is. And I'm guessing you made the most out of everything, having never been before.
Yes. Absolutely everything. Did lots of resort hopping too, because I'd heard that they were really great things to do when you were kind of tired or needed a bit of a break during the middle of the day.
Yeah. So do you have a favourite resort? Having looked at some of the other ones, is there anywhere that's like caught your eye? If money was no option, where would you stay?
100% the Polynesian, because it's beautiful and it smells amazing, and you can get your Dole Whip at any time.
Of course you can. Yeah, you can get Dole Whip at Polynesian. Not a lot of people know that, but yes, you can get Dole Whip. And it does feel like a proper holiday resort as well, doesn't it? It's like, even though you can see Cinderella Castle, you just feel like you're somewhere else, don't you, at Polynesian?
Absolutely. You just get your Dole Whip, you go sit on the beach and just watch the world go by.
So talk me through your planning strategy when it came literally from the idea of going to Disney World. When did you decide to book? When did you decide to go? How did you decide where you were staying?
Yeah, so this was actually quite, I wouldn't say last minute, but it was fairly last minute for Disney holidays. We probably booked about 100 days out. And it's because we just went, all right, well, let's do something big for my 30th. So I went, well, I want to go to Disney. That's what I want to do. And we suddenly just went, all right, let's book it. So I did a lot of the research, had a look at what rooms were available, what wasn't crazy expensive, because when your first time going somewhere, you don't want it to be very expensive and then disappoint you. So I thought I'd go somewhere that I know lots of people like. So that's how I came up with Pop. And lots of research, lots of looking at vlogs about what we should book for food. We got loads of reservations actually on our 60-day mark.
Yes.
So we were really lucky with that. The best tip I can give you for that is the whole of your party go on your app at the same time and just make your bookings. So both me and Rob were doing our bookings at the same time. We got everything we wanted.
Oh, so did you divide up the restaurants you wanted and then be like, right, you doing that one, I'm doing this one?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Get all your browsers open. Get as many as you can. So as we are talking about food, favourite restaurant at Disney World?
Now, this is going to be a shocker because it's a quick service.
That's fine,
that's Columbia fine. Harbour House.
What did you have there? That's his Magic Kingdom, obviously.
So we had the trio platter, and it's just, when you just really, really need some food and it just really hit the spot, and it's so quiet up there because if you go upstairs, no one sits up there, and it's just the perfect place to take a little break.
Yeah. What was on the trio platter? What was on that?
So it's fish and chicken and shrimp, and then you get chips as well.
All deep fried?
Yes.
That's what you want from theme park food. That's totally what you want.
Well, this is it. It's not the healthiest option, but it definitely hits the spot when you're absolutely knackered. Having
now been, I'm assuming you're thinking about going again.
Absolutely.
Thinking, or have you booked?
Not booked yet. I'm trying to convince Rob to go to California, but we'll see.
All right, then. What would you do differently? Have you picked up any tips that you go, oh, next time we go, we've got to do this, we did this wrong?
If I'm honest, I think because I'd done so much research into it, I didn't try and do too much. I think that was the best way to do it. We had quite a relaxing 2-week visit, which for first timers is probably very unusual.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I'd go back.
So is that purposely, we'll leave some things off so we have to come back and do them? What did you not do?
So we did all the parks. I guess we technically did everything, but there's just, you can do more. You can always do more at Disney.
Yeah, of course you can. Maybe you could do like a VIP tour or, Keys to the
Yeah,
Kingdom
I'd love to
something
do
like
the
that.
Wild Africa trek.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, a little bit on the pricey side, but really good. When you're on the safari and you see the people climbing through the trees and stuff, you go, oh, yeah, I'd like to do that one day.
It looks so good.
So did you do anything else outside Disney? Did you venture around Orlando?
So we did go out to the outlets and just have a little bit of a mooch around, just for kind of something else to do. But mainly on our one day where we didn't do the parks, I just went resort hopping because I knew that it was going to be busy on a Saturday, and I thought, you know what, perfect excuse to just go and have a nosy.
Yes. Saturdays are a good day if you want to do stuff like that, because especially Magic Kingdom gets chocker. Did you go to Universal or SeaWorld or anything like that, or just theme park wise, just Disney?
No, not this time. We did all the theme parks and went to Typhoon Lagoon as well, which is great.
In a moment, I'm going to give you your perfect Disney World day, your perfect 24 hours in Disney. But what would be your one standout memory? What's the one big memory you took from your trip?
Honestly, it's quite niche. So on Rise of the Resistance, now I'd already seen people do this on vlogs, so I'd given myself quite a lot of spoilers, but Rob hadn't seen anything.
Good.
And when you're in the car and it's about to do the drop in the simulator,
yeah.
And I turned to him and I went, "Are you ready?" And he was just like, "What? For what?" And then it dropped and he was just like, "Ah!"
If only you could get a picture of his face.
It was just one of those moments. I was just like, I was giggling my head off after that point.
I love the little moments like that. So, Sophie, your perfect day at Walt Disney World. Talk me through it. Were you staying? Were you going? Were you eating? What are you doing?
Okay, so waking up at Polynesian, because that is, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the dream.
And then getting a minivan over to Port Orleans for beignets because they're so good.
Which ones? The Bailey's ones? Because you can get Bailey's in them, can't you?
I know they didn't have those ones on offer when I was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the dream.
So what else are we doing?
Then go over to Magic Kingdom, do Big Thunder and Pirates because quite honestly, they are such good rides. And then head over to Epcot for some food. Obviously, hoping that it's Flower and Garden because the food booth at Flower and Garden was so good.
Yeah, or Food and Wine, which is on now, maybe. Food and Wine, which
Yeah,
is like
that's on
Flower and
now.
Garden, but with even more food but less flowers.
Mm-hmm. And obviously trying to get on Guardians a couple of times because you kind of have to. And then I'd head over to Animal Kingdom for kind of like late afternoon, evening, and do Pandora and watch it all light up, and then do the Tree of Life Awakens because it's so pretty. And then I would head over to Hollywood Studios for Fantasmic because it's my favourite fireworks show. It made me cry. And then finish off doing Rise of the Resistance because you have to do it if you're in Hollywood Studios. And
Might
then
as
back
well.
to the Polynesian for Dole Whip.
What's your favourite song to do on Guardians?
Well, I really wanted September, but we did get One Way or Another, which was really, really fun.
Yes, they are too good. I think Blondie, I've said before, is my favourite. So your next Disney World trip, I believe a little bit tells me you might be thinking about going to Japan.
We are indeed. So we're going to Japan next year in May, and we definitely will be doing both the parks over there.
Oh, wow. So you will have done Paris, Florida and Japan, halfway to the Six Castles Club.
Well, this is it. It's got to happen.
Well, enjoy that. It's been lovely chatting to you and have a magical day.
Thank you very much.
Fancy joining me on the podcast? Do drop me a message. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok at Pod Magical. If you're going to be going over the next couple of weeks, over the summer holds, do drop me a message from there. I'd love you to tag me in some pictures. Let's see what's going on. Temperatures are into the 80s, 90s, hot, muggy, humid with storms. Of course, it's August, so it's Halloween time. It's the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tonight at Magic Kingdom and select nights over the next couple of months now. Remember, because it's at Magic Kingdom and it's a select party, you do need a ticket for the party, and Happily Ever After will not be on the nights that the Halloween party is on. So the nights that Happily Ever After is on, it usually gets busy because people want to see it. So they go, oh, we can't see it tonight and tomorrow because there's a Halloween party on, so we have to see it the day after. So you get a lot of people. So just bear that in mind. Although Magic Kingdom on the day of a Halloween party is usually pretty quiet, because I think people go, oh, well, there's no point having half a day there, but if you can park hop, you might as well do that. A couple of weeks before, it's the Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. They start later on this month, by the way. Food and Wine Festival at Epcot is now underway with some live performances as well. The Eat to the Beat concert series, Ruben Studdard from American Idol, he will be on this weekend. Joey Fatone from NSYNC will be on there next weekend. And we've also got a big event going on at SeaWorld as well. They've got their Craft Beer Festival and Summer Spectacular with fireworks. That goes on most weekends over summer. So if you are going, have a great time. Tag me. Let's get you on the podcast when we get back at Pod Magical. Here's a top tip for this episode. Would you like some extra pixie dust? Would you like some extra pixie dust sprinkled in your hair? Well, they do this when you go to Bibbity Bobbity Boutique, but you can get it done for nothing. Yeah. If you pop into Sir Mickey's, that's the shop at the back of the castle, if you just ask in there, ask nicely, one of the cast members might sprinkle some pixie dust on you. Please bear in mind, it is very, very difficult to get out, and you'll be finding it for days after in your pillow, in your bedroom, in the hotel. So if you want a little bit of pixie dust in your hair, just ask in Sir Mickey's. They also do it in the barber shop as well. That's where I get mine. Back in a couple of weeks with a brand new episode. Hopefully no drilling. Until then, please stand clear of the doors.